hopefully. Are you all feeling tired a little bit? You were tired in the morning, got some rest afternoon or something? Huh? Yeah, okay. So we'll just start. Sumit, did you tell him to put the Harigor supposed? Everybody's supposed to, but you know. Okay, distribute to everyone. So we are starting from the question number 13. Let me see here, that's pretty. Krishna, can you enlarge it a little bit? It's a little far away and I have to, yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, so 13th question was from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, text number 12. No, don't leave it, right? It's okay. There was this phrase, Shantim apnoti naishtikim. That's naishtikim. So what is the answer? What is the meaning of this phrase in Sanskrit? Who can say? You can see what they answered. Maybe somebody answered something really funny. Has nothing to do with what it should be. That you can see. So what is it? 13th question. Actually, we did answer that last time, but anyway.
Prabhuji, can we open?
Yeah, you can. That's true. That's what I've been saying. This is 5.12. Gaurav, you failed. You know this? Everybody failed. You know, it's amazing. Even though you used open book, now what to do? Now where is your? Yeah, better you don't have yours. Give him someone else's. And you can tick the mark. When you see the answer, it's correct. You tick the mark, like mark it like this as a, or as a plus or something. Otherwise, you give a minus. Yeah, you're checking. You have to check. I know you like to do that. So just be attentive with it now, that you check properly. Okay. So what is the meaning of this phrase? Shantim apnoti naishtikim. Can you answer? Somebody can give me an answer? You can even search in Bhagavad Gita yourself. You can give your own answer if you want. Do we have any Bhagavad Gitas in the cupboard, or we can get from IPP, or IPP is shut or what? Okay, do we have any Gita in our cupboard? Or you can see on mobile if anyone has database or something. Of course, in library there are many Bhagavad Gitas, but library closes now by 8. And that's a trouble to give those books back. Okay, I'll give this answer, but then you have to give me all the other following answers. So, yeah, give here. So, one attains unadulterated peace. So one becomes very peaceful. When offers results of all his activities unto me. So we discussed that last time, that what is the real state of happiness? You can't be happy if you're not peaceful, isn't it? If you're disturbed by something or someone, Can you be happy? No, there's no question of happiness. And we will always be disturbed by something or someone if we don't offer our activities to Krishna. Because if we offer our activities to Krishna, then we'll be knowing that we did our best, and Krishna anyway grants, offers, give us some result according to whatever he considers it's the best for us, and then we're just peaceful with this. That's the type of mentality and consciousness that one has to develop. Learning how to be satisfied with whatever comes on its own accord. Not to overly hanker after something or lament when it's gone or lost. Then definitely there is no peace. So we should just be equanimical, situated as such perfectly in any kind of time, place, and circumstance. And then we can be peaceful. And when we are peaceful, that's actually Krishna consciousness. Because then you can be, because your mind won't wander, you can focus it on Krishna. Then you can be Krishna conscious. Is that clear? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, Harigor, is that clear?
Yes.
Yes, what?
You should focus on mind.
Yeah, okay. You got something. Okay, next question. That was number 14. What is the difference between a person in Krishna consciousness and a person in bodily consciousness? What is the answer? So this is Bhagavad Gita, same text, 5.12. What is the answer? You tell me now.
Krishna consciousness attached to Krishna, bodily consciousness means thinking about the result.
Okay, one thing. When you're reading from your whatever paper you've received, you make sure that it's correct. That means you have to check in Bhagavad Gita yourself.
Materialistic consciousness and...
Wait a second, let me complete. So you have to make sure that you're not giving me wrong answer. So you may be convinced this is the answer just because it's written there. It doesn't necessarily mean so. It might be completely wrong. Somebody might just, write anything. So are you convinced that's the right answer? You sure it's mentioned? It's straight mentioned. You see, there's no speculation now. It's just straight noting down what is directly said in the report. So what is it?
I think it is correct. Attached to results and activities is bodily consciousness. Attached to Krishna is Krishna consciousness.
Okay, anyone has any objection to this? Who wants to add anything? See, I found here, it says that, bodily consciousness, formerly it's attached to Krishna, whereas later it's attached to results of his activities. Okay, any questions on this? We can explore this more. It's not that just is that clear? Is there anything else to add to it?
How we can do any activity without
wait a second. Why are you hiding behind? You can come a little forward. See, the chairs are here. You don't have to be hiding so far. No, come closer. Come sit here. Sit here. Come. Sit here, yes. So I can immediately see what's going on. No spacing around. Yes. Bring your chair here. Yes.
We do any activity for results only. So, how is it possible that do activity and don't care about result?
That's a very exalted type of question. Did everyone hear what is the question? Baka? Who have heard? Okay, Tapan, repeat the question for everyone.
Yeah, he's saying that
Okay.
he's saying that when we are doing any activity, it's always for the result. So how it is possible to not care about the result?
So what do you think? When we do activity, we are expecting results. So how is it that we perform activity without expecting results? Huh? Now really think. I know it's late, you're tired, you want to sleep. But this is very important answer that we're going to give. Question. Okay, wait a second. By focusing on work, but why would I focus on work in process? What will inspire me to focus on work in process?
Doing whatever we want to do by devoting ourselves to Krishna.
Okay, by doing whatever we want to do and devoting to Krishna, okay, that's fine.
Our mind should care only for Krishna, like.
But how is that practically possible?
So that we have to practice over a period of time.
But based on what?
Based on like, having association of the devotees,
Having
Lord
association.
devotees,
Yeah, that's
doing selfless service.
Yeah, but we have to get something already. What is it that we are gaining that we can act as such? Yes.
By performing activities as a matter of duty, as a service to Krishna, and not expecting doing activities for getting any result.
Yeah, but if you just do because I'm doing just because I have to do, then it tends to become very dry. No, you have that experience. I'm just doing my work. You know, I'm getting into work, and I'm just doing because I have to do it, but actually I hate it. Is that going to really help me much? That's a fact. Performing our duty, yes, but then I have to some extent, have some relationship to that kind of duty. I should have something come. See, duty, it's more, I'm doing it because I have intellectual understanding that I have to do this for whatever reason. It's my responsibility, it's my dharma, it's my whatever it is. But unless I get, you see, it says that if mind is not convinced, like they have this saying in the West, the man convinced against his will, he holds the same opinion still, no? So that means mind is not convinced. What does it mean, mind? Mind means rasa. Rasa means taste. If I don't get any pleasure, I don't get any satisfaction of certain activity that I perform, I really wish to do it. And it might not last for a long period of time. My mind will tend to flip towards something else. So being steady, remaining on that platform of duty, that sounds great, but we don't see it nowadays happening. Because first of all, people don't have sufficient intellect, neither capacity, neither culture to retain that kind of duty just as the matter of duty. And then second, they just don't, they're looking, the taste is more important. That's why everything is instant. Instant this, instant any kind of gratification. Because I want taste. I don't care about consequences. I don't care what will fall. I don't care. I don't consider. So everything is so much about the taste. And yes, we need a taste, but it should be balanced then. And how is it balanced? Who can say, how do we balance duty with the experience? How do we balance those two? Good experience that we are gaining out of performance of that duty. How do we get this? And then we can act on the platform of without expecting result. That's what.
By offering the result.
By offering, but how? Why would you offer result to Krishna? Based on what? It's not sufficient, right? Yes, that's another very important thing. To be having some attachment towards what I'm already doing. Because I'm doing what I don't like to do, where will be attachment towards doing? So in one sense, that's pretty much the answer to this question. That the work itself, it's so satisfying that the result is not so important. So just the service towards Krishna is so satisfying that you just don't care about the result. You just get so much pleasure serving Krishna that it doesn't matter what kind of result there is. And that's what Krishna says, you have a right to perform your duty. That means you have a right to serve. But the result, that you leave up to me. You don't have a right to result. You don't have right to result. Result, that I will decide. That's up to, of course, Krishna decides based on our karma. But we have right to perform our duty. So you have all the rights to perform your duty. But what is your duty? That you have to find out. What is your psychophysical condition? What is your nature? What do you really like to do? So then you engage yourself in that. And now what the result comes, then don't worry about it. Leave that up to Krishna. That's Nishkam Karma Yoga. That's a very high level of still performing the work, but not being attached to the fruits. Sakam Karma Yoga, it's a lower platform. When I do something because I'm expecting result. If I don't get result, I won't do it. If I come to the temple and I pray to Krishna, please give me this, grant me that, let me pass this exam, let me this, that, and this doesn't happen, will I come to temple again? Most likely no. That means I'm very neophyte type of so-called devotee. It means practically I'm not almost devotee. Because I depend on result. And somebody who is not attached to result, he will still come to temple. It doesn't matter whether he, Krishna fulfills something or he doesn't fulfill, it doesn't matter. Because he just likes coming to the temple. He already has experience, he already has a taste, he already knows that's something that it's good for me. So just having the opportunity to do the work. I mean, let's say somebody plays sports. And, they're really good at it and they like to do it. So is it that they're just doing it because, they get high monetary offer or something, or they're just really doing it because they like to do it? What is it? Yeah, mostly they should like to do it and they do it and it doesn't matter. Of course, there's so many corruptions and things going on, no fields everywhere, but essentially when you're doing what you like to do, or somebody's creative, somebody likes to play something, music or something, so even if they don't get some money or whatever, they'll still do it because that's what they like to do. So this is why everyone in his life has to find out what they like to do. What do you like to do for Krishna? What do you like to do, of course, and then you connect that to Krishna. And don't worry about what will be the result, but you just do it the best way you can. This is Nishkam Karma Yoga. This is the liberated. You're already practically then on the liberated platform. You can't care about the result, because result, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You leave it up to Krishna, whether he gives or he doesn't give, but you do it your best. You play the best. That is Krishna consciousness. Is that okay? Anyone else is confused about it, or yes?
So you already told that.
Come here, Suji.
So Prabhuji, as you just mentioned that we have to connect the result, connect what we like in service of Krishna. So it's relating that only. So that's is there a higher principle like the
higher principle? It's even pleasure for Krishna.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
asking.
yes.
So, but we should not imitate it, or we should endeavor it, or we should practice it, or should we just remain on the level for what we like for some time and then?
No, you could practice it also.
But it sometimes brings frustration because we don't.
So then when it brings frustration, then you step level down and then again you try after a while or whatever. You keep on trying.
We keep on trying.
Yes, you keep on trying until it really
So if
settles.
there is some seva I really like, and
Yes.
and I want to do it.
Because higher than that is also doing sevas that you don't like, but you do it for pleasure of Krishna, and you're not attached to whatever happens. But you do your best. Let's say I tell you, go and clean the toilet. And then you do it, you scrub it the best way you can and whatever, because it's Krishna's. Say people come here and this public one there. Tomorrow I'll show you. It's like, but you do it why? Because it's part of the temple. It represents, everything in connection to Krishna. And you do it your best. And even you might not like to do it, but because Krishna will be very pleased. Then you'll see when you do it, how pleased you will become.
But I think that's an opportunity that won't come every time. Like, not cleaning the toilet, but this thing, what you are saying, that what we are not liking, but usually we have to focus on consistency. So probably
yeah, usually, but sometimes also we can make an exception when that usual becomes very stale and unconscious. That's the problem with us. We have to somehow wake up, revive the proper consciousness of what we are doing, so that it's done for the pleasure of Krishna, nothing in relationship to us so much. Then. Yeah.
You mentioned stepping down. Stepping down. Yeah, I didn't get that comment.
Yeah, falling down to your condition level. Doing what only you can do, or you think only I can stay at home and do the work I can, and I can't stay in the temple, and I can't surrender, and I just count this and count that. That's stepping down. And then from that platform, you look for another opportunity when you can, rise up and then do anything that's required for pleasure of Krishna. Okay, Sumit will explain. Yeah, he'll explain to you.
Yes.
We have to go forward. Yeah.
In most of the cases, it quite happens that we put Krishna on the backside, like we prefer our work, and we think that I will advance in my work, and then I will serve Krishna through that. And over a period of time, what happens is that we get attached to that work,
and you forget about Krishna.
Yes.
Yes, so that's, what is that? That it's karma then. That's karma kanda. That's not karma yoga. There's no benefit. Then you're trying to get some benefit, but then you'll have to take responsibility, and you'll have to take reactions for whatever work you do.
So in the beginning, we have to first keep Krishna in the front, and then
we always have to keep Krishna in the front. Always.
In the beginning, it could be difficult, like.
But it's not difficult. What is difficult? I'm doing, but it's for Krishna. I want somehow. I have to connect it to Krishna. Krishna says in 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you fully dedicate your mind and intelligence to me. If you can't do that, which is the best, then you do some work for me. And if you can't do that, okay, Krishna is so liberal. He says, okay, then you do whatever you're doing, but then offer some fruits of your work, some results to me. That's that level you're talking about. So at least something. Okay, next one. List 9 gates of the body. This is 5.13. What are the 9 gates of the body? And this is very interesting. Yesterday we had this story of Puranjana, right? And that body has been described allegorically as the city with 9 gates. So now also that analogy is kind of repeated here. It's mentioned here in Bhagavad Gita. So what are the 9 gates of the body? Yeah.
The sources of five sense, like to your
Okay.
eyes.
Yeah, just don't mention Gate of India. Okay.
Eyes, nostrils, ears.
Yeah, he
mouth,
said it. Yeah.
liver portion.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, it's very simple. Just it will help us understand the context in which it's given. Okay, next one. What is the here? This is next verse, 5.14. Okay, another thing is, if you want, in the meantime, you have these papers, those which are printed, they have a summaries of the several verses. You can read in the beginning, you can see how they're very interestingly related under certain topics. So you can see how relevant they are. You can just spend a minute or two just reading through that. So you can understand how this 5th chapter, what is it in relationship? What is it answering? Okay, so now we're 14. Krishna in the 14th verse repeats the word na, which means nor, 3 times to convey what. So that was simple. If you had Bhagavad Gita, you just had to write straight from the translation. What was it? Okay, anybody wants to read? What did Krishna? Anyone?
Which one?
14, 5:14. No.
Would you translation or
Yeah, I said translation.
the embodied spirit, master of the city of his body, does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action.
That's it. So does not create activities. What does that mean? Living entities does not create activity.
It's subject to the activity, but you can't be the master of the activity. It's trying to do.
Okay. Then, nor does he induce people to act. You're not inducing anyone to act. What does that mean?
Which means, if I'm doing something, it is not my soul directing me to do, but because of the influence of the modes of material nature and my senses are involved in that, I'm being forced to do.
Okay, but that's similar what he said. That's the first one, not the second one.
The second one implies that you can't be the master of someone else's activity.
Okay, so you can't influence that. That's also under purview of material nature. And then, nor does he create the fruits of action. That's a result. Again, we said Krishna is the one who sanctions. We desire. Only thing that we do is desire, and we're responsible for desire. Material nature facilitates, Krishna sanctions. Krishna sanctions. Okay, is that clear? Okay, let's move to the next one. 17, 5, 13 to 15. Explain who is responsible for the suffering of the living entities with reference to the verses and analogies from Bhagavad Gita, 13 to 15. So, any answer? How about you, tired? Okay, it's nice to hear 5th chapter. Any answers? Anybody wrote on those papers there? Yes.
The conditioned living entity is himself responsible. Karma.
So where you got that from?
On the sheet.
No. I said you have to see in Bhagavad Gita. What's the question? How many times I have to repeat it? We read Bhagavad Gita 13 to 15, 5th chapter. Yes.
The material body is the cause of suffering. The bodies are temporarily well placed in such places, cause of suffering.
Which verse is this?
14.
14. That's interesting. Body is the cause of suffering. Did you ever feel like this?
Yes.
Huh? Amazing. Amazing. So you have some consciousness. That's nice. That's interesting. Body is a cause of suffering. What else Krishna says? What else is the cause of suffering?
Ignorance.
Yes, that's very important. That's the whole point. That's why you identify with the body as well. So the real root cause is ignorance. Real root cause of suffering is ignorance. So why are we discussing now this Bhagavad Gita, and why we have this session, and why? Because we want to convey some knowledge to relieve us from ignorance, because in ignorance we suffer. And because of ignorance we suffer. So ignorance is the main thing. Okay, there are many things here. Prabhupada explains that how living entity is prone to this ignorance, but Krishna is never. Krishna is never in ignorance. Yeah, that's a big difference between, that's in 15th verse. Big difference between living being and Krishna. Okay, next one. This is 18. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, text 14, 15. Explain who is responsible. No, wait a second. What is this now? Living entities. Okay, using analogies. Okay, but that's going to come. That goes a little deeper now. Okay, what's the answer to 18th?
What's the question?
Modes of material nature. Mode of material nature. No, I don't agree with that. Here you have to see at the Sanskrit. That's a little bit exploration of Sanskrit. It's almost pretty much similar answer, but with emphasis on Sanskrit and the analogy. Is there any analogy there? Huh? Nobody can find? Ignorance, yeah, we did mention, but Sanskrit. Man proposes, God disposes.
As you know, this shloka that has been mentioned, the living entity is completely dependent on its distress and happiness by the will of the Supreme Being.
Okay. Okay, let's go to 15. What is finally the analogy? It's a little bit similar. What is the analogy? What is the analogy? If you state the analogy, then you will understand. It's easy one. Proximity of the living being next to super soul, what it says? What's the analogy in the text 15? See, there are two analogies. One is in text 14 and one is in 15. This is what it was referred. And one of those is as text 15 is given, but what is the 14th one? What is the analogy in the 14th one? It's given. It's just here.
Yes, bro.
Wait a second. Anybody else? Can you find the analogy in the text 14? Read text 14. You don't have a database? Sumit, where is your phone? Where is your database? Huh?
Have,
But what? You're lazy to open.
yes, research.
Okay, give your phone behind there. Somebody else can use it then if you're.
I'll
Okay, what is the analogy? Number Ah,
It's in 15.
no, it's in 14, I'm saying. 14, text number 14. Can you find text number 14? What is the analogy? See, as long as he's in the seat of the body, that means the soul, he appears to be master of it. But actually, he's neither its proprietor nor controller of its actions and reactions. He is simply in the midst of the material ocean struggling for existence. The waves of the ocean are tossing him and he has no control over them. So that's what means that these waves are like the modes of material nature. This is the analogy. Body, it's like the boat. Body, it's like the boat, and we are struggling in this ocean of material existence. So the best solution is to get out of the water by transcendental Krishna consciousness. That alone will save him from all turmoil. So that's the point. Get out of the material existence. Get out of material consciousness. Get out of material body. And no more tossing, no more suffering. Anyone has experience of a sickness? What? You? What?
In Bilai, when
Really?
I was there.
What was there? Some pond or something? What?
Sickness.
Seasickness. Amazing.
No, not seasickness.
But I'm asking about seasickness.
Motion sickness.
Ocean sickness. What? You went to Elephanta or something? That's what? What was the longest journey on the boat that anyone has undertaken? I once did 2.5 hours, 3 hours, something like this.
I went to Alibag.
Alibag.
In Kochi. Kerala, Kochi, another.
How many hours?
3 hours.
On the boat? Towards where?
That was organized by an.
Towards where?
3 to 4 hours. Means party on the boat.
I just experienced like 1 year to I have to only this much only.
That's very little.
Indian oil company basically.
Srila Prabhupada went through whole Atlantic Ocean, which is one of the most, or let's say, least peaceful oceans. And just imagine when waves, it's like just really, it's hellish.
They had heart attack.
Yeah, that was, but it's horrible. So see, this is our position in the material world. We are tossed like a little leaf on all those waves of the ocean. So this is the analogy given. Remember this analogy. Our position, it's like a boat in the ocean, like a paper boat. Origami. You can make a boat out of paper. You put that paper boat in any water, see what a position of it is. So fragile, so hopeless. So that's our position in this material world. So this is the cause of suffering. And we identify with this boat and we think that we can be happy. What a madness, no? You can be happy. You can be happy. How can you be happy in the, like now, rainy season when it comes? You will see generally this Western Arabian Ocean, it's really peaceful. But then you see when the rainy season comes, the waves become a little more, yeah. So, of course, still not as much on the eastern Bay of Bengal side, but it can be dangerous. It can be dangerous. Strong wind and so many things. So, and then if you find yourself in the midst of that ocean, yes, such a suffering. Enormous suffering. So that's the analogy.
Generally, what kind of disease you get?
Seasickness. You just get you can get it once I really got heavy. I was in Kenya in a flood. And it was Ekadashi, and I decided to do Nirjal or something. Bad idea. Bad idea. I never do it again. So, I mean, when you're flying, it's like at least water should be taken or something. If it's empty stomach, it wasn't. I was perspiring. I felt so sick. You feel like vomiting. You feel like dying, leaving body like anything. You feel like, completely disorientated, completely lost. It was hellish. I almost gave, wow, I'll never fly again, and I'd rather walk or whatever next day. Really, it was so hellish. So that's also like a seasickness, You really like, you want to leave the body. It's so hellish.
So you're flying, so
It was flying because it's also, there's turbulence. A little bit, something is there, something was happening, and my stomach was empty. And all these affected, it's hellish. And in the boat is the same thing, just all the time. If I keep you churning like this all the time, how it's hell, it's horrible. It's horrible. That's seasickness. And you feel like vomiting, you feel like, it's really horrible. It's really.
He was vomiting.
Huh?
I read Prabhupada was vomiting when he got sick.
Yeah, anyway, now you. Yeah. Well, come here. No, I'm joking. Okay, so this is 18, 19. What is the 5:15? What is it analogy? What is analogy for 5:15?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vibhu and Anu.
Vibhu and Anu.
Yeah. That Krishna is only sent, but we are like atomic.
No, okay, but that's not the really. That's comparison, but analogy. Analogy. It's on the other page. End of purport. Flower. Wildflower. Flower. No? Are you getting that? What are you doing? You're tired or what? Huh? Did you read the purport?
15.
No, that's 84. But what are we talking about? It's 15, of course, it's 15. How many times do I have to say? It's 5:15. It's a beautiful analogy. See, the Lord is the constant companion of the living entities, Paramatma, or the super soul, and therefore he can understand the desires of the individual soul. As one can smell the flavor of a flower by being near it. Desire is a subtle form of conditioning for the living entities. Anyway, so just like you understand the flower by its fragrance, just by being next to the Lord, understands what are your desires. That's an analogy. So that's the answer to the text 19. You have that mentioned in your papers? Yes or no? If it's no, then give the negative mark. If it's yes, give it a positive mark. Gaurav, whose one you have? Make sure that one who's correcting it's correcting properly. I don't know. Yeah, everyone has read. That's the answer we're having.
Checking.
Who's more tired, you or me? Me. That's why I'm asking such questions. I might be tired, but at least I'm more conscious than you are. Are you people correcting those tests? I mean, those papers? Hello, what's going on there behind? Yes or no? You correcting?
Yeah.
But we are giving answers here, no? Okay, text 20. Give the English meaning of the words Vibhu and Anu. So now this comes. So Vibhu means what? Or great, big, and Anu means
Infinity.
Small,
Smallest.
insignificant. Okay, so you have that answer like this?
Omnipotent.
Huh?
Omnipotent.
What? Huh?
Omnipotent is omnipotent.
Okay, and another?
Elohim.
Okay. Whatever. So give it the mark. Okay, next one. Give the English meaning of the phrase Pandita Samadarshina. Pandita Samadarshina. What does that mean? Pandita Samadarshina. Who is a Pandita? Who sees which platform?
The platform, the soul.
Soul platform. Shukadev Goswami. Don't speculate now. Of course, it's Shukadev Goswami. That's not in Bhagavad. It's not mentioning it. Everybody's clear with this? What means Pandita Samadarshina? That's a very important phrase because that's the transcendental level. This is the one who sees living entity in all kinds of bodies. He sees the soul in elephant, Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Gavi Hastini, Shunichaiva Shvapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. Very important verse. That's a vision of a transcendentalist. He sees the girl. What will he see? He'll see the girl?
No.
He will see the soul. This is the vision of transcendentalists. So you all have to, and hopefully will become transcendentalists. So this is the vision to aspire for. Correct? That's what we have to see. Not temporary material covering, which is source of all miseries. Okay. How does Krishna describe the equal vision of the humble sages? How is Krishna describing? What is Krishna's description? I just stated that verse. That's also that we are going a little bit into details of the same topic. So how does Krishna describe? What does he? I already gave the answer. How does he see?
You see everyone like a wise man. You see everyone as equal.
He sees everyone. He sees a dog eater. He sees the Brahmana. He sees them as the soul. That's it. Yeah, he sees them equal. That's a very high level. That's an uttam level. No discrimination on the spiritual platform. Okay, next. So you're going fast now. Text, 23. Text 18. Why does Krishna conscious person make no difference between species and castes? In one sense, it's again same answer, but can we state something a little deeper? Why he makes no distinction? What would be another reason that Krishna conscious person doesn't distinguish between living entities? Like Prabhupada said, this is real United Nations, where we include all the living entities, not just humans or whatever. All the living entities. But why we do that? How on basis of what we can do this? Yes.
So he sees everyone as Krishna's children.
Is it? Sarva Yonishu Konteya. Okay.
The origin is the same.
Origin is the same. Okay.
Body is temporary.
Body is temporary.
Try to see the Paramatma within.
Try to see Paramatma. Okay.
Because he is not envious.
It's not envious. Okay.
Because he sees that everything is in connection to Krishna.
Okay, everything is in connection to
Yeah,
Krishna.
flower, seed, all are part of a tree. Same thing, everything belongs to us.
Maybe. Okay. Okay, next. 24. How does the Lord relate to okay, this we did. No, wait a second. Relate to different bodies and of castes and species of life. Okay, so now the question is, what was the relationship of the sage or devotee? But now the question is, what was the relationship of the Lord towards the living entities, no matter what kind of position they are? How does Krishna relate? You can read this in the text number 18.
He treats every living being as a friend.
He treats every living being as a friend. What's the evidence for that? How can you make such a statement? Based on what? What's the evidence?
Like he treated Arjuna.
Like he treated Arjuna. No, stick to the text there. I mean, of course, you can make a statement. Yes.
He's present as Paramatma in everyone.
That's the thing. He's present as Paramatma. Always. No matter what kind of body anybody enters, Krishna always accompanies that living being as a Paramatma. Even when enters the most abominable species of life, still Krishna will be present. So he treats them equally, like a friend, yes. Okay, so now that was 24, 25. What are these different bodies? So what are different bodies that the soul enters and Paramatma enters? What are these different bodies? What are the different bodies compared to? Yes.
There are different desires.
Wait a second, are you reading from the text 18 or you're just guessing like this? Yeah, but read first, text 18. What are different bodies? What is it stated there? Bodies are manifestations of different desires, and yes, that's in one sense correct. Did you?
Cow, elephant,
Yeah, cow, elephant, bug, creamy, kimchi, I don't know, like. Different. That's not the question, Baba. It's not asking what are these different bodies. That's not the question. The question is.
Can I answer?
Question is, what are those different bodies? It's not what are those different bodies in terms of species. It's
the bodies are material production of different modes of material nature, but the soul and the super soul within the body are of the same spiritual.
Okay, so they're products of the modes of material nature. Bodies are the products of the modes of material nature. That's why you have different. Like you see the different species. You can, if you know a little bit something about the modes, you can differentiate. Like let's say you see what kind of mode of nature would be, like if you see this Doberman or Pit Bull or Rottweiler dogs, what mode of nature are those? Passion, yeah, passion and ignorance combined. And when you see the dog, which is spaced out like this, and then you get some dogs which are really sharp. They're really intelligent, and they like to bathe also. I don't know. Is there any dog like that? There might be a little more sattvic type of dogs. They don't have so many bugs, and. No, anyway, I'm just trying to give some example how, even within certain species, there are different modes of nature manifested, more or less, So it's like this, So modes of material nature. So that is mentioned in the text 18, no? Did you answer like this? You didn't come to the test. Skip the test, run away, shame completely. Okay, yes?
Here is written like bodies are just instruments and machines, so this is correct or incorrect?
Is that anything like this in the text? No.
Correct.
Machine. But body is a machine. That is correct in a sense. Yantra Rudani Maya, yeah, that's what Krishna does mention, but that's in 18th chapter, not in 5th chapter. So give him half point. Okay, we don't have much time. Let's see how much we can. Let's cover this. In which way are the soul and the super soul the same? In which way are the super soul and soul same? This is again same text. This is question number 26. So how are soul and super soul same? On which basis?
Quality.
Quality of what?
Unity of soul.
No. You just read it.
Quality to control the eternal.
Both are eternal.
Quality to control.
What is all that?
Spiritual quality.
Spiritual. Okay, we got the answer. You have that answer in your.
Eternal blissful.
Okay, but is that written in the text 18 purport?
Here is written that similar in quality, Sadat Anand Vigra, but not in quantity.
Okay, fine, give it. Okay, this is 9 o'clock. How it's possible? This laptop, something's wrong with this time? Yeah, I heard it. I'm hearing, but then he's showing 55.
Yeah, it's my laptop.
Yeah. Okay, great. Going backward instead of correct or forward. There's more of ignorance. Exposed. Okay. Okay, so then we have to stop here. So we have stopped on the question number 27. We'll continue some other time. And for some of you, then we'll have some separate tests sometimes in the future. Bhagavad Gita. So we'll stop. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Premanande.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Please come Sunday. We have special session on Sunday. Hare.
This was chapter 5.
Yeah, complete chapter. Yeah, please return this. Don't misuse it. Sumit, move this ignorance.